Trevor and I got married on April 24th of 2015 and took our honeymoon to Wells in England of 2015 on July 4th. After saying goodbye to the kiddies, we boarded our plane and 11 hours later landed at Heathrow Airport in England. We arrived in London and got a rental car immediately and drove west. We drove towards Stonehenge, which is located in the Salisbury Plain of Wiltshire and aligned with the solstices. The purposes of the monument is not known. Allegedly built starting approximately 5,000 years ago in 6 stages. The sarsen stones are from the Avebury area, and the blue stones are from the Priscillian Mountains in Wales, 150 miles away. It was presumably a religious site and an expression of power by the chieftains who built it. There are many theories of how Stonehenge was built. Many believe that the Druids built them for religious purposes or for the calendar. Others believe the giants built them. And another theory is that they were put in place by levitation of using frequency. Megalithic monuments in England and Wales are along the ley lines. And I can tell you that Trevor and I both would feel a little tingly in our heads if we were in the Wiltshire area. Words really cannot express how beautiful Stonehenge in the Wiltshire area is. There's beautiful wildflowers in the summer and a beautiful sunny day. Crows were all around and landing on top of the Stonehenge as if they had been there forever as well. We visualized all of the ancient people and the people in the past who have walked these lands and what they may have been doing. Many discoveries are still being discovered about Stonehenge. Before our trip, it was believed to mainly chart the solar calendar. But after we returned from our trip, they've recently discovered that it also tracks the lunar calendar. After Stonehenge, we continued to drive westward towards our first place of stay. We drove through the lovely town of Shrewton, where we also got to visit the Church of St. Mary, built late in the 12th century. Trevor and I bravely got a rental car for our stay in the UK, and learning to drive a stick shift and drive on the left side of the road was a challenge, but very fun. That is the way to do it. The many churches that we saw, all of them are so beautiful and all very anciently built with beautiful stone and archways and doors. Our first night of lodging was at Rollestone Manor, built in the beginning of the 17th century. Here we had a lovely dinner and sipped on ginger beer and roamed the gardens. The manor was constructed in 1242, but according to the Domesday Book, it was at least 1066. Jane Seymour, Henry VIII's third wife, lived here. I can imagine her gazing out the window towards the church. We stayed in the Nathaniel room. This was a beautiful 12th century church that was on the property of the Rollestone Manor. Rollestone Manor today is a bed and breakfast. It has 7 rooms, all named after its former owners. After exploring the beautiful gardens at Rollestone, we had a wonderful dinner. The owner was also a French chef, and the food was magnificent. We stayed in the Sir Nathaniel room, and it was so peaceful and lovely as we could hear the early birds at 4 in the morning to wake us up. This day, our plans are to go visit Avebury Stones, and then on to our next place of stay, which will be the Thornbury Castle. The ginger beer here was lovely.